Welcome back inside Bulls Vision in another episode of the Ken Eriksen Show here at GoUSFBulls.com. Coach, it's been a little while since we've talked softball, and in case you haven't been paying attention, you've missed out on a lot of wins. 10 now in a row for the team, a perfect 7-0 in the conference. We talked so much in the early portion of the year about loading up the non-conference schedule, how that was going to make you a better team going into conference play, and it appears like that has been the case.
Well, I don't know if it's made us a better team, but it's apparent that we're getting more experience early on against quality teams that have a very high speed, not only on the base paths but in the way they play, and hopefully some of it has rubbed off on us. I think what's really beginning to happen for us more than anything else is that our defense and our pitching has kept us in some pretty good games right now against some good competition and against some competition that we should beat. I'm not thrilled where we're at. I think we could be playing more consistently. A coach is never happy. They want to play the perfect practice, and then they want to play the perfect game. But we're doing what we need to do right now, and that's end up with more points on the board than the other team, and that really translates into some success. And hopefully we can now have that confidence to build upon it. But we just got to be concerned with what's going on in this moment and not be concerned with what's happening 2-3 days from now.
And I don't want to jump too far ahead of us here with still about a month or so to go in the season. But when you're at this point of the juncture in conference play, you're undefeated, you're obviously at the top of the conference. How important is that when you have a young team as opposed to maybe being 2, 3, 4 games back in the conference at this point?
Well, winning breeds winning. And, that attitude of success is contagious at times. And so we're hoping to build upon that. We played the number one team in the conference, which was Syracuse, prior to the conference season starting. And, when we went into the first game against Syracuse, we weren't thinking about a 3-game sweep. We were thinking about that first game. And, I told our girls after the first W, you weren't thinking about game 3. You were thinking about game 2. And after the game 3, it's very easy to start looking ahead and saying, whoa, we got Louisville, we got Notre Dame, we got DePaul. Wait, what time out? You've got Georgetown first, in one game. And then this week, it's apparent we've got 5 games on the road, 2 at Rutgers, 3 at Seton Hall. But we've got to take care of business at practice on Tuesday and Wednesday before we even play ball on Thursday against Rutgers. So we just got to make sure that this young team is reined in a little bit. They understand of really what's happening, and it's daily getting better. And that's all we have to try to do.
Well, it was a perfect 5-0 week, capped by a sweep over the weekend against Georgetown here at home. Pitching once more, a major storyline this past weekend. Sarah Nevins, again a no-hitter, going into the 7th inning for 2 straight weeks. We'll get back to her in a minute, but it was the sophomore Lindsey Richardson who probably had the best week. 3 wins, 15 innings, a couple of hits, 1 run, I think 19 strikeouts. She has been outstanding for really more than a month now. I don't think she has had an outing where she's allowed more than 1 run.
No, she's been very consistent, and we knew when we got her coming in here last year as a freshman, she was consistent, and she was last year, albeit her record was 12-10, but she really could have been 18 wins last year. We just didn't have the offense to put it up on the board for her. But right now, she's doing exactly what we thought she would do. She had a little struggle early in the year about finding her rhythm and consistency, and I think she's gotten serious with her ball game because she's a heck of a pitcher, and she's a heck of a competitor. She's got some nasty stuff. When she's confident, she could beat the world. And we're really thrilled that, we're able to go with a right-hander and a left-hander right now as dominant pitching and be able to go to the bullpen. Because when you go to the bullpen, you get a kid like Brittany Bowles and Catalano coming to the bullpen right now, it makes you stronger. So, real excited what Lindsay's doing.
She's our Student Athlete of the Week. I caught up with her a little bit earlier today. Let's take a look at that interview. Joined now by the Student Athlete of the Week, Lindsey Richardson. Really a strong week for you on the mound here for USF softball. 3-0. I've been talking with Ken Eriksen. The team obviously playing very good softball right now, but it must have been a special week for you picking up 3 wins.
It definitely was special because it's 3 wins. The team feels great. It's great to have 3 more to put on the record for us. Going into this next week, we got a big week coming up, and it's conference play, so it's just great to have wins.
What's the feel like in the clubhouse right now? Obviously, the team's playing very good softball right now, undefeated in conference play. I'm sure spirits are pretty high.
Oh, absolutely. We're trying not to think about it. Everything that everybody's talking about right now, we don't want to think about it because, we're all superstitious. We don't want to jinx anything and, karma, anything like that. So, yeah, we're happy, but we have a lot of work to do. We've got a week of practice and everything coming up right now. So we're just trying to keep our minds thinking about what's coming up and keep our minds straight. So happy, but not too happy. Yeah.
So it's been a real nice run here for USF softball. Sarah Nevins has been very effective as well on the mound as a freshman. And talking with her head coach, Ken Eriksen, he was saying that you've done a lot to help her become a better player. You're helping her out. You guys are having conversations in the dugout. What's it like working with her?
She's great. You know, she's the goofiest girl ever, so she's really easy to get along with. I love talking with her, and she's like her own special little person. And I learn a lot from her too, because just watching her out there, she's just a different kind of pitcher that you don't find everywhere. So, you know, I learn from her, she learns from me. We feed off of each other, our good games, our bad games. You know, we like close for each other all the time, come in and relieve. So, you know, I think it's good for both of us to be around each other.
We talked a couple of weeks ago before the season started, and you had mentioned maybe trying to embrace more of a leadership role as you're starting to get older here and now in your second season at USF. Have you embraced the role as a leader, and how's that come together?
I guess I try to embrace it. You know, they've been telling me since I'm not a freshman anymore that I need to take on that leadership role. And I guess, I mean, on the field, I do what I can to, you know, get the team a win, you know, try to start us off right in every game so that everybody's pumped to play. So, I mean, if that's leadership, then I guess I'm embracing it.
This is a very young team, not just freshmen, but primarily underclassmen really riding the ship right now for USF softball. I asked your coach this as well, but how important is it to be undefeated right now as opposed to maybe 2 or 3 games back in the conference? And what I mean by that is, I mean, you guys are the front runners. Is it easier when you're a younger team to not have to, let's say, catch up?
Well, you know, we are really young this year. You know, almost half of the team's freshmen or people that haven't been on the team before. And I think being undefeated is just showing them that even though we are young, we're very good. We're a very talented team. So it doesn't matter that we're young. And I think it's good to show everybody on the team that's not a disadvantage to us. That's like an advantage. You know, all these people haven't played here before. They haven't been in this situation. So they know that they have to bring everything they can to the table, you know, each and every game. So, you know, I think that, you know, freshmen or whatever, I think it's a good thing. And, you know, they keep us going, too, because they've got that freshman spirit and everything. So they've got everybody excited to play. They're so excited just for it to be conference play. So it's good.
Lastly here, before I let you go, you mentioned not jinxing yourself or superstitions. When you go out and get ready to pitch before a game, is there any routine that you do? Is there something that you try to do every single time in the same order, whether it's the same music you're listening to, the type of food you eat before every game? Do you have any superstitions?
Yeah, absolutely. I get Einstein bagels before every game. I kick the ball, the brand new ball. I kick it all the way to the bullpen. Like me and my catcher, we just mess around. I warm up the same way before a game. I warm up all my pitches in the same order. And when I get out on the field, I have to throw 2 like certain pitches, and then I always have to end with a certain pitch in order for them to throw it down. Like everything like that. And if I don't do it, everybody on the team kind of has that little thing that they have to do, because if not, you just kind of have a funny feeling, you know, things aren't going to go right. So, I mean, I hope it's not just me, but yeah, I have my superstitions.
That's everybody has them, and you touch on something there with the catcher. Laura Fountain has really stepped up in the role as catcher. What's it been like pitching to her?
I never knew her as a catcher. She caught maybe once, I think, when she was younger, just because, you know, everybody caught when they were younger. And I never would have thought her being a catcher. She's just always played third or somewhere in the infield. So at first I was like, you know what, she could do it because she's a determined person, and that was fine. And then, you know, I saw her catch a bullpen for the first time, and I was like, she's really good. She looks like a catcher. She looks like she's done this her whole life. So, I mean, I love throwing to her. She comes out and talks to me all the time, like the way she communicates with the pitchers and everything. Like, it's great to have her behind there. She's vocal. She's happy and upbeat all the time. She always talks in the center circle. So I love having her back there, even though she's not a catcher. But she's doing a really good job.
She may not be a catcher, but the team has been winning since she has moved to catcher. Certainly best of luck this upcoming weekend. 5 games up in New Jersey against Rutgers and Seton Hall. Good luck.
Thank you.
So again, Lindsay Richardson, our Student Athlete of the Week, 3 wins over the past week. But then, of course, Sarah Nevins, outstanding once more this past weekend on Saturday. For the second straight week, she takes a no-hitter into the 7th inning. She's been as dominating as it gets.
She has been, you know, and my sports information director, Charlie Terenzio, got on me a little bit because I took her out of the ball game yesterday, which she would have broke the save record if she stayed in the game. She came in the 6th inning and got a crucial out against Georgetown when the score was pretty close, and then we blew it open in the bottom of the 6th, but she would have got her 8th save of the year, which would have broke the record. So Charlie got on me a little bit about it, but, you know, everybody knows Sarah got the save. A record is not what we do. We need to get people in there to get some extra work in, and so we did. But Sarah, I will tell you that the reason for Sarah's success, in my opinion, okay, two big reasons is, number one, Coach Triner has done an unbelievable job with her, okay, and she really respects Coach Triner. The second aspect of it is that Lindsey Richardson has made it very, very comfortable for Sarah Nevins to be accepted as a pitcher on the staff. And that shows the maturity of a young girl that could feel that there's competition going on, but Lindsey has put that aside and knows that the team is best when we're all together. So Lindsey has a lot of credit to do that. And then the out factor is the one of the most unheralded situations that's going on right now is Laura Fountain behind the plate. We moved her behind the plate about 12 games ago, and that's really where you have seen our pitching staff flourish right now. They're very confident with her back there. She's doing a great job, and she's getting better every day. And she's actually our third baseman. So it's because of injuries and so forth, we had to move around a lot of people. But they're gelling, they're playing well, and they're happy. And if they're happy, then it makes it a lot easier to coach.
So that opened up third base. You were looking for some then consistency there, and Courtney Salvarola has been outstanding. In the 5-0 week, she hit over 400, again hitting the cover off the ball.
You know, she's consistent. You know, you keep hitting upon that word for us, and it's the truth, and that's all we're looking for. You know, once again, her reason for her success is probably the person to her left who came in from center field, has been Janine Richardson, who's playing a pretty good shortstop and giving her a lot of the nuances and the intricacies how to play this game at Division I. And you know, I mean, that's once again, that's great teamwork. And then, you know, to Janine's left, Lexi Knowles been a very consistent player at second base. And then across the diamond, your freshman Medina. So all four of those people in the infield are playing well together right now. They're gelling. It's almost like they're thinking each other's thoughts. It's a nice situation to have. And you know, Larry Antonucci, one of the football assistant coaches, was just walking by. He goes, "What are you doing now? Just pulling up your lawn chair in the third base box and watching what's happening?" So it's almost a well-oiled machine on the perspective part of people looking from the outside, but we still have to do a lot of work.
Well, 10 straight wins and now back on the road. A big couple of games up in New Jersey. Rutgers on Thursday for 2, and then Seton Hall at the weekend. Rutgers, a team averaging something like 10 or 12 runs a game, and always tough going back up to the cold. What are you looking for this upcoming weekend? You
know, Rutgers swings the bat. There's no question about it. You know, we have earned a target on our back with what we've done early in the conference play. We've earned a target on our back because of who we are. You know, beside conference play, people are going to come after us. We're going to be everybody's World Series each day, and we have to respect the fact that teams are going to play us hard. I mean, everybody else is not recruiting, you know, second-rate players. They're trying to recruit the best players they can to come out and beat you. So we have to understand that they're going to try to fight us right from the start. You know, we just have to keep punching back and doing the things that we do and concerning ourselves with us, because it really is about us. And that if we do that, we'll be fine this week. We've got 5 challenges, like you said. They're 5 on the road, you know, in hostile territory. And anytime you're in conference, I don't care what the records are. I don't care who you're playing. It's going to be great battles, and then we have to just do what we do best.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun up in New Jersey. Rutgers and Seton Hall, again, the team playing very well in the field right now. A fun time to be around USF softball.
Oh, it is, and that ballpark is great. You know, I mean, we go out to the ballpark every day and you just can't wait to get out there because it's so beautiful. Our kids eat lunch out there. The coaches can't wait to go out 3-4 hours early, to tell you the truth, and do some things. And when other teams come into that ballpark, they play at a higher level also because of the venue. You know, so that's a nice situation. And then when we go to other places, I know the girls have a lot more appreciation for now than what we have here at USF, which is good. But they can't let those things be a distraction. They can't let those adversities take away from what the task is at hand. And the task at hand is to be as perfect as possible.
Just talking about the new ballpark again real briefly here before we wrap up the show. You got to wonder what some of the other student athletes from other schools are thinking. Maybe they were here last year as a junior playing at the old facility. Maybe they're not looking forward to coming back to USF. Then they walk in and go, my goodness, what's happened?
Yeah, no, there's no question about that. You know, we've heard from everybody. You know, we've heard from the SEC schools. We've heard from the Big 12 schools, the Pac-10 programs. Like, holy mackerel, this is the best venue there is in the country. And we really appreciate that, you know, and I really like what we have. You know, it makes it easy to train, you know, not just play ball there and so forth, but it's easy to train. And, you know, the one thing that we haven't done yet, we haven't had a capacity crowd yet, you know, and when we come back off the road, we've got a Friday doubleheader against UConn on Good Friday. And I would love to see as many student athletes and many students to come out to that ballpark to pack the place against UConn. A Big East doubleheader that Friday starts at 2 o'clock, I think. But to have that place filled up in a very crucial, pivotal weekend series that starts, I think it would send a message to the rest of the conference that, you know, we're serious not just about football and basketball and soccer and all the other things of baseball, but we're also serious about softball because we do have a championship caliber program.
Friday, April 22nd, the softball team returns home here to the new ballpark on campus. But first things first, 5 games on the road this week up in New Jersey. For the latest on USF softball, be sure to keep things right here at GoUSFBulls.com. And, Coach, good luck this weekend.
Ron, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Red hot USF softball for all things right here at GoUSFBulls.com. We'll see you again next week.